Question: which company on earth could waste and squander all of their biggest IPs? And these aren't just any old franchises laying around. We're talking Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, The Matrix, the Arkhamverse, Mortal Kombat, Game of Thrones, and the entire DC cinematic universe. These franchises have literally defined cinema, and most, if not all of them, are in the trash heap. The answer is simple: Warner Bros. They have a history of wasting talent, franchises, and opportunities. Hell, they even disrespected Nolan and lost him. But today, we talk about one of their biggest screw-ups, Henry Cavill as Superman. Act 1. The DCEU was a game of catch-up. Ever wonder why we didn't get a Man of Steel sequel or a standalone Batfleck film? Well, that's because the WB executives were in a mad game of catch-up with the MCU. As writer Devyzed put it,
I know the pressure that we were getting from Warner Brothers was just, we need our MCU. We need our MCU. And
right.
And I was one of the people that was just saying, whoa, let's not run before we walk. Like, hold on. Like,
so you see, the idiotic executives saw Marvel's success and tried to speedrun it. And this meant speedrunning Zack Snyder's vision.
Not a great plan.
Now, if we go back 10 to 15 years, you will see that Marvel did the impossible. It took 3 relatively unknown characters and made them icons and blockbuster material. Everyone knows who Iron Man is now, but back then he was a nobody. The execs at Warner Bros. Wanted the Avengers immediately, without looking at the fact that the Avengers took half a decade and about 5 movies to get to. And worst of all, any successes they did have weren't deemed good enough. I think they expected Man of Steel to make $1 billion right off the bat, when in reality, if they had made a Batman film, a Superman sequel, and a Wonder Woman film first and just carbon copied the MCU's phases formula, they would have had multiple films guaranteed to gross over $500 million. But Warner Bros. Being idiots forced Zack Snyder to get to Justice League ASAP. Instead of his Superman trilogy and Batman films, he had to go the Injustice route and figure out how to introduce characters that needed their own films. And this is how Batman vs Superman and Justice League came about. You see, Snyder went so deep in the lore, he alienated and confused normies who expected Marvel films, and all the turmoil and dysfunction left Henry in the cold. Act 2. Henry rejected. It's fair to say that Batman vs Superman was/is one of the most polarizing films to date. WB was not happy, but because Batman vs Superman and Justice League were shot back to back, they had to release Justice League and reap the fruits of their rushed decisions. Henry, meanwhile, shot Mission Impossible 6 and grew the infamous mustache that led to some of the worst CGI I've ever seen. This all happened because Zack Snyder had a family tragedy while editing Justice League, and WB thought that while he was in the worst grief a person could experience in this life, to hire another director to take over and reshoot the Justice League film. This led to Henry having to reshoot scenes with his mustache, leading to that scene.
Right.
And from 2017 to 2022, through a slew of WB CEOs and executives, Henry never donned the suit. While the WB betrayed Snyder and ghosted Henry, they ran the DCEU into the ground. What, with terrible sequels, flops all around. Then The Rock tried to take over the DCU, got Henry to do a cameo, and completely bombed with Black Adam. And just to be crystal clear when outlining WB's stupidity, they made a Harley Quinn film before a Man of Steel sequel, a Batman film, or a decent Wonder Woman sequel, just because they thought she'd be the next Deadpool. They made a Blue Beetle film thinking he'd be their mix of Spider-Man and Iron Man. Shazam got a sequel from only half of Man of Steel's box office. Oh, here's also a list of all the execs of Warner Brothers for this time period. Were they running a company or playing musical chairs? And so, Henry's time as Supes ended, not with a bang, but a whimper. WB had a star on their hands, a dedicated fan, and they threw him away. I can't even mention all the rumors of them not wanting to pay him fairly. If anything, Warner Bros. Reminds me of a company being run by children. When one breaks a toy, they give the playset to someone else, until an adult has to step in. Act 3. The DCEU in shambles. It's 2026, but the dust hasn't settled. WB is now WB Discovery, and the DCEU is gone. James Gunn's DCU is... You know what? Since people don't believe me when I say it's a flop, I'll let the CEO of Netflix say it. Remember, this is the man whose company wants to buy Warner Brothers entirely.
a direct question then. Will this be a fully exclusive 45-day theatrical window?
Fully exclusive to theaters, yes.
And will this be self-enforced? In other words, if you fall short of that?
That is the industry. It is the industry standard for self-enforcement. However, routinely, movies that underperform, the window moves a little bit. And Superman was a little shorter window, and Sinners was a little longer window, but they still could refer to it as a 45-day window.
And so
Even if he is lying to negotiate, wouldn't he want a good relationship with James Gunn if he wanted to continue his vision of the lowest grossing Superman movie ever? Strange how both Paramount and Netflix have no interest in Gunn's vision, but have both spoken well of Zack and Henry. If only movie execs loved movies instead of chasing trends, how different cinema would be. I guess making films for money only is always a recipe for disaster, no matter how you try to fool your audience.
Of Proof of Life at my school, and I was an extra, and one of the kids, I think his name was Merlin, was playing a character in the movie, and we were all standing there in a sort of big semicircle in between setups staring at him, and I thought we look a bit awkward and weird, and one, it's also a little rude to be staring at someone, so I walked up and stuck my hand out and said, "Hi, my name's Henry, I'm thinking of becoming an actor, what's it like, should I go for it?" And he said, "You know, it's great, the pay's great, and it's all good fun, but sometimes they don't treat you so good." And
we all know Henry's had it rock in Hollywood, but if he could be Superman again, I think the nostalgia alone would make the movie a smash hit, and Hollywood loves nostalgia. I mean, it's the only thing that's kept Jurassic Park running for 30 years at this point. Now, if you like this detailed breakdown, please watch my other videos on Henry's struggle at Netflix and Hollywood alike. This is the Cynical Zoomer signing off and reminding you to go deeper. Imagine a DCU with the Man of Steel trilogy, a Batfleck trilogy, and a Warrior Wonder Woman. Actually, imagine a Zack Snyder produced Batman Arkham Asylum movie with his Batman.